Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some BS with me. Today, we have a lot of relationship drama. We have family drama. We got it all. I'm not going to go super into detail. Make sure you stay till the end. It's really good. I may have been a chatty Cathy a little too much, but without further ado, let's go. But wait, you guys. Don't forget, I have a bunch of videos over on my Patreon. The link is right here. Make sure to check it out. Okay, goodbye. From pissed on to pissed off. So I, 27 female, was seeing this guy, 27 male, that I met through work, both emergency services workers. Hadn't been seeing each other overly long, but the preceding couple weeks prior to the incident, I've been getting off vibes and was already starting to reassess the relationship due to many factors. Now, he had his Christmas party and asked if he could crash at mine since he lives a decent way out of the city. I said yes, thinking he wasn't going to get that smashed since he was crashing at mine and still being fresh seeing each other. He got back to mine at 4 a.m., very intoxicated. He went to the bathroom and then fell asleep almost instantly in my bed. I still couldn't sleep and he stunk like the back alley of a pub, so I went to the couch to just watch a movie. He woke up a handful of hours later, heard him making a bathroom trip, and then he walked out looking dusty, hungover. In a playful way, I started teasing him about being hungover, until he asked to clarify what I was teasing him about. When I've told him it was because he looked hungover, he then asked, not because of ... sideways eye. He then clarified it's because he pissed the bed. My first concern was maybe he was punched or hit his head until he mentioned quite casually how this usually happens when he drinks heavily. To clarify, the bedwetting is not my concern. Things happen and he didn't obviously intentionally do it. To be the best of my knowledge, of course. What happened next is the problem. He had gotten out of bed, taken his wet underwear off, and just threw it on my carpet floor of my rental. Through the soaked, I'm talking very, very drenched sheets on my carpet stairs. My living area between the bedroom and the stairs is hard flooring. Only took half the sheets off, didn't take the wet pillowcases off the pillows, left them on the floor. Left his urine-soaked clothes on my carpet floor until I explicitly asked him to pick them up. After he took the wet sheets down to the washing machine, he then smacked my ass without washing his hands. Wanted to cuddle, have affection before having a shower, brushing his teeth. Still didn't take the wet pillowcases off even after I told him about them. Then sat on my fabric couch with no pants on. I had to take my $700 mattress topper to be cleaned externally because it didn't fit in my washing machine. Told him this and he never once offered to contribute to the cost of this. At this point, I'm fighting off a panic attack, tears streaming down my face and trying to clean things, quite visibly upset. Meanwhile, he's lying on the couch watching a movie and then answers a phone call from his friend. Instead of being like, "Oh, hey mate, I'll just call you later," he proceeds to loudly be laughing about the night, etc., while I'm still there in tears. He continues to ask me multiple times if I'm okay, with the tone that suddenly he notices I'm not okay. I've told him multiple times very explicitly that I'm not okay, but he continued to ask over and over again. I've been very clear throughout this entire ordeal what each problem is. However, even after everything, he still thinks the issue is that he wet the bed, even when I've again explained that it's not the issue. Additional incident that contributed to me ending things, for context, I'm a registered paramedic. While talking about something, I think maybe he had back pain and I said, "Oh hey, best to go to the physio," etc. He responded with, "Well, what good of a nurse are you then?" I've replied, "I'm not a nurse. I'm a paramedic." Him, Oh, of course. You're way too smart to be a nurse, baby. Kissy face. Me. Nurses aren't dumb. I did my nursing degree and had a nursing degree lined up. I just ended up going with paramedicine. Had also never gone to his house. There was always a reason in the end why we had to change the plan. After managing to get him to leave, got myself calmed down. Next day, I called and ended things. There was a few other things contributing to my decision, but that's the big old thing. I had also posted this to Am I the Asshole, but thought the story might be enjoyed in this sub too. I will never understand. If you are a person who pisses theirself or things when you overly drink, don't fucking drink. And don't say you want to stay in my bed if you know you're probably going to piss the bed. This is so embarrassing and not okay. For me, y'all already know. I don't care how drunk you are. Even at the height of my alcoholism, I've never pissed the bed. I've never pissed my pants. Ever. I know it's different person to person, but this is not okay. You say peeing the bed was not the problem, right? It was him being absolutely idiotic with where he put everything, and your carpet's probably going to smell like piss until you move out. That's a smell you can't really get out. This is a child. And I guarantee every single time he changed plans from his house, he's probably pissed his bed and just didn't clean it up. He's probably a really gross person, because somebody who thinks this is okay and doesn't explicitly apologize over and over and over and over, I would be so apologetic, you guys. And he's just like, well, it happens. This is like a glimpse into your future. I'm so glad you left this guy, because I can't even imagine the kind of person he is. You guys don't even know each other yet, and he's doing shit like this. This reminds me of this person back in Jacksonville, and I don't know if they're still like this, but he is known as somebody who pisses himself every time he gets drunk. Doesn't matter where he's at. And I did not know this. This was the first time he was hanging out with us, and he fell asleep on our recliner. This was a brand new recliner, you guys. I spent so much fucking money on this set. I'm actually embarrassed how much I spent. And this man gets up after falling asleep on our recliner, and the entire seat is soaked in piss. I was so livid. So livid. He never apologized. I don't know how he was okay with this. I'm going to be honest. He did not care. He literally just got up, looked at it, and was like, It's like, are you going to reimburse me for cleaning this? I never got the piss smell out. I just shoved it in my garage, called it a day. Because I was like, I can't get it out. It was like this weird fabric that you can't just clean with soap and water. And I kept the seats, like the regular couches, but I was so pissed. A person like this should not be drinking. If you can't handle it, don't do it. Because like I said, I'm sober. I've been sober for quite a long time now. I think a little over a year and 6. I don't even know. I haven't looked. But I think I'm almost at 2 years. And I don't care if you drink. But if you drink and you do shit like this, or you get violent, or you just become a completely different person, I don't want to fucking be around you when you're drinking. And quite honestly, you're not mature enough to be drinking anyways. Disgusting. Not okay. Not okay. Commenter. Damn. It always amazes me the things you get really upset about is most of the time completely different from what they think the problem is. You dodged a monsoon here. I agree. Commenter. When I buy a new mattress, the first thing I do is buy a waterproof cover. Lifesaver. Honestly, cool for you, dude, but I shouldn't have to buy a waterproof cover. I get it if you have a puppy, if you have a baby, if you have a child. But if it's just you and your girl and she doesn't have some sort of incontinent problem, or you don't, I don't know. I've never pissed the bed, you guys. I don't know this issue. I know that some people have medical issues, and that's a completely different ballpark. That's not the conversation we're having here. But I get it. I get it, okay? People have accidents, whatever. Let's keep it moving. Am I overreacting? I think my landlord drugged me. There is a text thread here. We'll read that after the story. Just made this account to post here. I'm sitting at a 24-hour diner, unsure if I should go home or call the cops or what. If I'm literally overreacting here, I escaped an abusive relationship 2 months ago, left with basically nothing except a little bit of savings. No job, nada. I luckily at the time found this place online. I've been a loner since my relationship. He basically destroyed my self-esteem, body, and mind. I no longer have any friends. The few I did never replied to my text anymore. I am literally starting from zero again. The point is, I found this spot online, met the landlord who also lives in the house, and we clicked. He let me rent it for cheap while I found a job, which I still haven't secured yet, hence my hesitation to leave. But this is freaking me out. He's been subtly hinting that he likes me, etc. Always knocking on my door or letting himself in and jumping into bed with me, complaining about his day. This guy is 60-ish years old. I assumed he's lonely and bored, and again, I was super appreciative to be able to live here for so cheap. This all went down yesterday. I drank the tea because honestly, he'd made me tea like 30 times before. I didn't think anything of it because I'm an idiot. I literally slept for like 13 hours and woke up to these texts. I politely excused myself from the house and have been walking around the town and hanging at this diner for the entire day, trying to mentally figure out how to proceed. I feel sick, physically. I've vomited 3 times already. I didn't feel sick before bed. My legs hurt, my chest hurts. I have some bruising on my arms that I didn't notice until today. Am I overreacting for thinking he did something? It feels like everything is pointing to yes. I'm afraid to report it since the cops barely helped last time and basically judged me for coming to them too late after years of issues with my partner. I'm scared and confused. Let's read this text thread. Starts out with him. You want some tea? I can bring it to your room, smiley face. Maybe movie? I want to watch something horror. Ha ha ha. If you get scared, I'm here too. Ha 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 ha. She replies, early morning tomorrow. Thank you though. He responds, okay, tea? Will help you sleep. It's a special blend. I'll leave it outside your door. Here's a picture he sent of her. It's obviously blocked out because this is anonymous. And he says, you are a pretty sleeper. Ha ha ha. Yum yum tea. She replies, you took a picture of me while I was sleeping? Byron, I love living here. I truly appreciate the kindness you show me by letting me rent from you, but you cannot enter my room while I'm sleeping. He responds, I just want to protect you. The tea is strong. I was worried. I wanted to make sure. I think you are beautiful. I am handsome. We have connection. I would hate to see you leave. I don't want it to go that way. Last night was beautiful. Thank you. She responds, the fuck you mean last night was beautiful? She responds again, hello? Question mark. Hello? Question mark, exclamation mark. He responds, smiley face. Haha, you play silly. Kissy face, kissy face, kissy face. I need more. This is so inappropriate on so many levels. Oh my God. You need to find a place to live. I know it's so much easier said than done, especially to rent anywhere. I don't know if you're in the United States, but to rent anywhere now, they need like your firstborn. They need like your birth certificate. They need everything. It's so hard to rent. I mean, an apartment, it's a little easier, but they want to go through your bank statements now. They want to see what you spend your money on. They want like 3 times the rent. They want this crazy shit, and you don't have a job. So, I mean, unless you got, like I said, I don't know if you're in the United States, but if you are, I don't know if you can get on Section 8 or something along those lines. Get some kind of assistance until something. I don't know if there's somewhere you could stay. I know it's illegal to do this, but I would change the locks immediately. I know that you have to let your landlord know, but if you signed a contract in most, I think it's every state, I'm not completely sure, they have to give you a 24-hour notice before entering your home. And the fact that you have text proving he just fucking comes in your house is not okay. First of all, the lines are being blurred. You should never be this close to your landlord. Ever. This is a business transaction and that's it. We are not fucking friends. We are not anything. This is a business transaction. Thank you for giving me cheap rent, but that doesn't mean you get to be inside me because you give me cheap rent. And that's kind of what he's trying to do. You're beautiful. I'm handsome. Blah, 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 blah. Sounds like he took advantage of you last night, and this is not okay. Personally, I would go get a drug test if possible. I know that the panels that they do like from the store, from like a convenience store or whatever, dude, I think they're like $60. They're so fucking expensive. But maybe there's some kind of facility you can go to, like an urgent care, and be like, hey, I really want to get drug tested. I don't know if I was drugged last night. And again, if you're in the United States, you could go file a police report and say, hey, I think I might have been raped and drugged. And usually they'll just do it for free because it's part of an investigation. Yes, in the United States, they have a backlog of grape tests that they just haven't got to, like years, decades. So it's worth a try, but not to be pessimistic, but I wouldn't get your hopes up about them doing anything about it. I know that's so fucking shitty, and I hate it so much. But what I would do is go to the cops if you want to get it done for free. Again, if you're in the US, I don't know policies all around the world, okay? I've never lived in another country. But anyways, this is not okay. There needs to be boundaries put into place for this. He should not be able to enter your home. And if this was me, if you don't want to change the locks, if you're worried about him doing some sort of legal thing, because legally you can't just change your locks because you don't own the home, I would get some sort of, even like a $5 door stopper, that you can just shove right behind your door. So if they open it, it may open a little bit, but it's not going to open all the way. I would shove a chair or something under the doorknob. I would do some sort of barricade so he can't just come the fuck in your house. This is so inappropriate and not okay. The fact that he thinks this is okay blows my mind. You took a picture of me sleeping. And he sounds foreign. It sounds like he doesn't know proper English with the way that he texts. Oh my God, dude, I would lose my mind, because this kind of thing would happen once and only once. Because if this man just opened my door, he would have been met with a gun in his face. He'd never do that again. Because you came in my house unannounced. You didn't give me a 24-hour notice. You're lucky I didn't pull the trigger the second I saw you. Don't let it happen again. Because who knows? Maybe he does want to take advantage of you. Who knows if he has? If you want to go home because you really have no choice, you don't have a job, I don't know if there's somewhere you could go, find something to jam your door so he cannot come in. That's like your only option. Because I know resources are hard, especially when you don't have a job. You feel like you're at a dead end. I hate this. I absolutely freaking hate this for you, OP. This makes me want to throw up. Commenter, get them to test your hair. If you go to the hospital to get checked, if they'll do it, my friend's ex-husband used to drug her and assault her. She ended up with negative blood tests and she thought she was losing her mind. But when she went to a different hospital, they tested her hair follicle and the test came back positive. Try to find another place to live. This is not a safe place from what you've said. Exactly. And I don't know if this is a well-known thing, but drugs stay in your hair up to 7 years. I know that sounds crazy. Now, I don't know the legitimacy of this. This is just what I've always been told. Like, literally, it's in your hair for 7 years. And obviously, unless you shave your head, then it's gone. But this holds memory, guys. This holds memory. Commenter, you're not overreacting. Go to the hospital and get a grape kit. Regardless of the results, call the police and show them this. Move out as quickly as you can. This isn't the kind of behavior that goes away or gets better on its own. It's the kind that escalates and doesn't ever end well. Do whatever you have to do in order to stay safe and document everything. Tell friends and family about this. Make sure that everyone is aware of this creep. Yes, I totally agree. But also, you guys already know I'm paranoid. I'm a paranoid person. My biggest fear with you reporting this and telling them who it is, some cops don't use discretion. And he's gonna know immediately that you went to the cops, which puts you even more in danger. My best advice I could give you, OP, is find somewhere else to live first and then report this. I know, I hate it. Or, like I said, find something to barricade your door and get a weapon, just so you can protect yourself after you report this. Because you're already not safe. Once you report it, your threat level has escalated 1,000%. Because this is obviously not a good person. This is a bad person. And you have to think like a bad person. This is muddy water. This fucking sucks. Commenter, you need to check into a hospital and get your blood checked for any substances. I don't want to freak you out, but who knows how long the possible drugs will stay in your system. Go to a hospital ASAP and request a grape kit while you're there. File a police report as well. Even if the police tell you there's nothing they can really do, tell them to at least document what happened. That way, if something happens again to you or another person, he will have a record on file. I've never been assaulted, but I've filed reports before when I was told that the police wouldn't be able to do anything. And from experience, they can still keep your testimony on file in case something happens again. I highly encourage you to at least go to the hospital as soon as possible. Edit. If you have physical injuries like you described, please take pictures and give them to the police if you decide to contact them. You are absolutely not overreacting. You are completely valid in what you are feeling and experiencing. I understand that the police didn't help before, but remember, every report, even if nothing is done, could help a future victim, or even past ones, or you. There have been many cases where a victim has come out and reported what has happened, and past reports and testimonies have helped their case. Yes, 100%. I agree on this. You are not overreacting. I wish there was an update on this because this was 5 months ago. I hate this. Well, you guys, I went to her account to see if there's an update. Her account has been banned. So there's that. Would I be the asshole if I told my best friend's boyfriend that she cheated on him last weekend? I'm feeling a bit conflicted because my absolute best friend of 11 years made a pretty big mistake last weekend. We went out downtown for drinks and dancing because her relationship has been a little bit rocky lately. They have been together for 8 years and have 2 kids together. Last weekend, she said she was going to break up with him, so she slept with a guy she met while we were at the bar. And the last week, her and her boyfriend have decided to stay together, and she told me she is taking what she did to the grave. I told her that he really deserves to know. She has been cheated on before, so she knows how much it sucks. I feel like I'm in a weird position because my loyalty is to my friend, but my morals are loyal to anyone. My gut tells me to tell him, but my heart knows that will end our friendship and potentially their relationship. I am currently planning on calling him tonight to tell him. I want to give her a heads up before I do it so she can decide if she would rather tell him. Would I be the asshole? Hold on. There's an update there. We're going to read it before we go to the comments because I'm going to assume that the comments are relevant to the update. I don't want to spoil it. You guys already know. If you watch my channel, me and cheating, we don't play. Nope. I 100% am for this decision. I am 100% on board, baby. Because here's the thing, and it's something that people do not really consider, and it's really fucking selfish. Really, really selfish. You may have caught a disease, my friend. Even if you used a condom, you might have caught something. Because a lot of people don't understand. And she went full intercourse, okay? And I'm sure there was a little foreplay. Even with foreplay and a condom, you can still get an STD. Even with a condom, you guys, you can still get an STD. Not only do you not know, because some things take a couple months to show up or have symptoms. It's not usually overnight. She didn't skip a beat with her partner. They didn't even break up for an hour. And I'm sure they're canoodling. Disgusting behavior, degenerate, absolutely pitiful. Y'all already know. I don't give a fuck. If we've been best friends for decades, if you cheat and you do it around me, girl, you better tell him. Because I'm right behind you about to tell him myself. Sorry. Nope. Because if you don't tell him, I'm not friends with you anymore. I'm going to tell him. And then me and you, we're kaput. I'm not friends with losers, okay? And this is the ultimate betrayal. You betrayed the father of your children. Even if it's not working out, you think you guys are gonna split up? Split up, then be a whore. And I'm not saying she's a whore. I'm saying her actions were whorish. She was acting like a whore. Okay. So I'm on board with you, OP. Let's read this update. Here's the full update. I called her on Friday, just telling her that I wasn't comfortable carrying this secret for her. My moral compass tells me that her boyfriend deserves to know. And as two women, me and her, who have both been cheated on, I expect her to understand. So I told her she needs to tell him this weekend, or I would. I offered to take the kids out to ice cream and a movie so they could have the house in the afternoon to themselves to talk through this. I also let her know that it would sound much better coming from her. The opportunity to work through this would probably be higher because accountability and honesty are important in relationships. She didn't respond too well to this. She told me that it was none of my business and I would just be trying to ruin her relationship. Pause. Hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. I hate interrupting when we are mid-read. The second you did it in front of me, the second you told me about it, you have now made it my business. So throw that argument out the door. Okay, sweetheart? Let's continue. She also let me know she would never forgive me. I let her know that I wasn't seeking her forgiveness and that it was my business when she chose to cheat on her boyfriend on a girls' night, and that I wouldn't be the one ruining her relationships. Her actions would be. Yes, OP. She was very upset and rejected my offer to watch her kiddos, but said she would have the conversation after she put the kids down to bed. I followed up yesterday morning to see if she had the conversation. She left me on read at 10:53 a.m. I sent another later that evening around 5 p.m. to find I had been blocked. So I took that as my answer and FaceTimed her boyfriend. Oh, there's a. I did have an image from that night of her at the bar with the guy she cheated with. I took it as I was leaving to get in my Uber. Bitch, yes. She insisted that I leave her alone that night, even though I told her she was making a big mistake. At first, she thought I was making this up, but after he was able to ask some questions and saw the picture, he simply thanked me for letting me know. He let me know he was going to get tested because they had been intimate in the last week since she cheated. I am unsure where the relationship stands, and I'm pretty confident I won't ever really know as my best friend has now blocked me on everything. I expected the relationship to end whether I told him or not because I don't want to be surrounded by anyone who would betray someone they were supposed to love. I have started receiving a lot of scam calls for insurance quotes and a few "fuck you" texts from an unknown number. I assume these are her, which makes sense because she has done that to others in the past she felt burned her. Yes. I love a happy ending. Not for the wife, of course. Fuck her. Loser shit. Loser. Good for her. You don't need someone like that in your life anyways. You took the high ground and you were the good person in this. She's embarrassed. Not my problem. I love that you took the picture. I love this. I love this so much. This is me coded through and through because fuck this bitch. You don't need somebody like this in your corner because this kind of person, if you got cheated on, would hide it from you. They'd be like, well, it's not my business, but it is. You did it in front of me. You made it my business. No. Kudos on the husband going to get tested. A lot of people really don't think about it like this, and they should because you don't know this person. You just let inside of you, okay? You don't know him. And you had a one-night stand with him. How do you know he doesn't have HIV? How do you know he doesn't have herpes? How do you know he doesn't have something incurable that you have now gotten and now gave to your husband? Trash. Take out the motherfucking trash. That trash is your friend. It's your friend. Commenter. Not the asshole. Good job in exposing a cheater. Cheaters should be aware that there are consequences for cheating. I agree. Commenter. Yes, kudos OP. If someone cheats and then expects everyone around them to lie for them, that's just enabling. Actions have consequences, and it's refreshing when someone actually holds a line instead of covering for bad behavior. And that is another thing. There is this cop-out when it comes to cheaters, and it drives me insane. And I have friends who believe this, and you know what? I get it. They want to make their relationships work. I understand. They really love the person. They believe they'll change, whatever. Not my relationship. They know what happened. They're okay with it. Again, that's not my cookie to crumble. They do this thing where they deflect. They make it your problem. They say, well, you know, if you would have showed me more affection, if you would have been nicer to me, if you. And this goes on the same line as, you are going to ruin my life for exposing this. You need to mind your own business. I didn't go hook up with some random when I'm married with kids. I did nothing wrong. I am not to blame for you cheating. Okay? Take accountability. Seems like these kind of people don't know how to take accountability, and it's freaking sad. How old are you? Old enough to have 2 children? Get it together. Learn how to take accountability, because at the end of the day, if someone were to come to you and say, hey, babe, I made a huge mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed to even say this. This makes me sick thinking about it. Here it is. I cheated on you. You are more likely for them to be like, okay, maybe we can work this out. You let me know immediately. But people like to bury it and push it down. And then 5, even 10 years down the line, these people find out and they're like, you've been lying to me for 10 years. Go eat shit. Like, tell it immediately so you can get in front of it. I don't understand liars. I don't understand a liar. You guys, I can't hold in shit like this. I can't. If I did some shitty stuff like this, I would constantly be like, oh my God, do they know? Do they know? I would be so paranoid to the point I'd be like, I have to leave them. I'm already paranoid as it is. I don't need extra paranoia. Also, I'm not a piece of shit. I would never do this. I don't care if I absolutely hate the person. I have been at my wit's end. I have absolutely been disconnected from my relationship. I have been to the point where it's not working. And I still did not cheat. Just, hey, we gotta leave each other. We tried again. It's not gonna work. It's just the way it is, okay? Anyways, everybody is saying not the asshole. Hell yeah, good for you. Fuck your friend. Blah, 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 blah. So keep it moving. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment. Where are you gonna do? Where are you gonna do? You saw the tea. Goodbye.